Okay, so we already are recording, so we can just start right from the beginning. Hello, everyone. This is Little Gay Guide. I'm Juan Zakai, and this is Chezy Mena. And hello, Chezy.
Hey, right here from Berlin.
And here from San Francisco. Both of our cities are in lockdown now, right?
Yeah, we have like a partial lockdown. That
Uh-huh.
means that most things are closed, restaurants, museums.
Wow.
But Berlin is really fighting to keep schools and kindergartens open. And I'm really proud of my city because of that, and actually whole Germany. Do you know what is the reason that we keep schools open?
Nope.
Family violence.
You kidding me?
Apparently, yes, in the first lockdown in all countries, I believe, in the first lockdowns, schools were closed and kids were staying at home, and family violence went extremely
Wow.
high. So to avoid that, schools will be the last thing that will be closed. And even today, like people without some symptoms can't have free tests, corona tests. Um, School teams are the only ones that can have tests and to keep on working,
I'm
keep
gonna
the.
take that as a very good lead in to what we can talk about today.
Hmm.
Speaking of children violence and speaking of childhood scars in general, given the fact that you're a coach and given the fact that a lot of self-growth or self-actualization rhymes or at least walks hand in hand with an element of some sort of a wound you had as a child or some form of habit you can shake. I want to start the conversation from there. Talking to the adults, talking to people that are grown-ups, I shouldn't say adults, grown-ups, people that are older. When you try to take something like a habit or a wound, and sometimes it's both, and evolve from it, how do you do so? How do you do so with your clients? Yeah, we'll just start from there.
Well, it's amazing topic because first of all, I have to say, beside the fact that your background is looks amazing,
Thank you.
we haven't spoke for a while. Um, this time is actually a great time to for a change, for a self improvement, because Corona in a way forced us to go back to ourselves, and practically there's nothing out there. And it's amazing that you talked about scars when we were kids. Because of Corona, I started to work with kids in school, and my personal class is 10 years old. And it's amazing to
Oh,
see how early we can be scarred. For example,
yes.
it's amazing to see that. As a coach, I don't really dig into the scars and the wounds as kids. I found out that um, every person that you can talk to know exactly what he wants to do different, but this experience and the thoughts that we are used to think prevents us from doing this kind of change. For example, people that want to market their business. I met a dog trainer that he knew exactly how he wanted to market his business, the kind of videos that he want to do, but he was scared to death to open a camera. So how do you get someone to that is doesn't like to be in front of the camera to do so as you do now?
For me, that's pretty comfortable. So my question would be, no, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just to go and see like what is the conversation that prevents him from doing so, and to offer him a leading thought, um, another kind of conversation that will allow him, that he will
When you
have the
say
freedom
conversation,
to open.
you mean internally? Like you mean like what kind of dialogue he has internally in his own mind? How do you get to
Well,
that?
so in, to keep it simple, what I do with people is I create with them a safe zone. It's practically a square zone that is formed within four walls, four sides, that one of them is a leading thought to offer him if the noise that I don't think I'm good enough, or that I hate, that things are difficult to me, and that's why I prevent myself from doing them. If this kind of conversation prevents me from doing so, I find with them one thought that if I will remember it, it will allow me to do what I want, to open a camera, to call to a new client, um, even to find, private people. Many private people have no idea what they want to do, and it's
Most of the
because,
people.
yeah, and that's only because something in the way I think doesn't allow me to know. Because you know what happens when I know what I want to do?
You just do.
That's the thing. I need to fucking do something about it.
Yeah.
And that's tough. So it's better if I won't know what I want to do.
Then I would love to double
That's a
click on that.
different that's a different safe zone. That's a different
but
safe zone.
but in a way, to get to that point of bringing them into the place of doing, which is not even bringing them, and in a way it's almost, you're almost describing it like awakening, like when you wake them up to their actual innate doer, they don't need to think about it because there is no internal dialogue. When I want to do something like this conversation, there is no I'm afraid of it, or I'm not afraid of it, who would see it, who would not see it. I just want to do it, I just do it. Now the question is for you, because you do put structure around helping other people achieving this place. And by the way, that is an achievement, because most people are confused when they look at, well, what do I want to do, or how will I go about doing it? What is the process for you? You describe one as a leading thought. What is a leading thought? How do you get from a leading thought to the action of doing?
Well, a leading thought, it differs from one person to the other. It really depends of the conversation that prevents a person to do so. For example, I'll give an example. Most people think that if when they want to create themselves a comfortable life, the road should be comfortable as well, which means that if I want to have um, um, a business that makes $100,000 a month, the way to get a revenue of $100,000 a month is comfortable as well. But that's not true.
No.
It's exactly the opposite. The way to create a comfortable life makes your life comfortable, but makes the road, what you need to do, very, very difficult. And that's a dissonance. Do you say it in English? Dissonance?
Yeah, that's the perfect word. Dissonance. It's
That
a it's a
most
cognitive
people,
it's a cognitive dissonance.
yes. So most people have a hard time to um, absorb um, or to realize this conflict. So they either run away or they try to solve it. And when they meet me, I tell them there's nothing to be solved. The only thing that you need to do is train yourself to hold this tension between, okay, my work starts to be more difficult, but if I will bury that, I will create myself a more comfortable life. So this is
Oh,
one of the
okay, so no, let's
thoughts
let's
that
let's
I
keep that.
can
Yeah,
share with
let's
you.
keep going. Let's keep on going with this. Let's keep on going with the idea of discomfort,
But
because
that's only
when
one. There are three more.
yeah, we can save them for another time, or you can share all four of them today. It's up to you.
Whatever is comfortable for you.
There's nothing that's uncomfortable for me. You know me well enough. But I do want to touch the idea of discomfort as a process, because in many things that we accomplish in life, at least the way I perceive it, um, discomfort is one of the main ingredients. In other words, when you try to achieve something, that achievement almost always, if not always, has an element or parameter or caveat of discomfort. You will not achieve something without the
Absolutely.
component. Okay, so the component of discomfort, that being a part of any good ingredient, it's a good ingredient. It's a wonderful ingredient. It's almost a necessary one. how do you go about making discomfort comfortable
I don't.
then? Tell me more.
I don't. That's the thing. That's and it's funny that you say that because um, I have this discussion every time with every new person that he waits for this moment that this discomfort will be comfortable. It will never happen. And this is, I'll give you an example. Like, I don't have a button down shirt because I just finished an online CrossFit class via Zoom, and I remember having this thought doing CrossFit. I don't know if you ever tried CrossFit. It's
It kills you.
super difficult. Like,
Yeah.
it's like it's unbelievably difficult. But this is why I go there, because there's no way I can personally create this kind of workout for myself. It just doesn't happen. And I remember the first few months, I fantasized about this moment that I will do a CrossFit class and it will be easy. But then I realized just a second after I was thinking about it that, okay, but that would make it like another gym
Ineffective.
workout. Yeah, it
Ineffective.
won't be a CrossFit workout. And that's the thing, that the only thing that I train people on, for example, is being good at feeling shit. So that means that the discomfort will never disappear. You'll just be good at feeling that. That's it.
So if I take two words from what you're saying, which is discomfort being a constant, and I think humans are, or at least the way I perceive humans, there is an elasticity to how I approach things that are either recurring or constant. And what I mean by that is maybe there's no lack of discomfort, but I become more accustomed to feeling discomfort. So,
Exactly.
okay,
I I don't run away from it. I face it. I do the things that make me uncomfortable to manage my life and my business better. And magically, my life looks much better because I don't run away from whatever I need to deal with.
to confront,
If
to grow, to
Yeah, exactly. Um, Most people think that it's like, and when they come to meet me, they look for magic, and I always tell them, yeah, um, my approach works. I've seen it many times, but there's no magic about it. If you will do what I tell you to do, you will see things happen in your life, in your business. But that means that you need to work.
So, speaking of work and speaking specifically about your work, because I don't want to give the whole rectangle, I think your system deserves to be a system. It deserves to have its own moment. What would be the step one in that process? What would be, how would a leading thought help in creating this process of getting not comfortable with discomfort, but rather accustomed to it? How would you marry the
Well,
two?
I'm very generous person, so I will give you something else, like the second thing, because I think that this rule or this uh, other part of the frame of the this um, um,
Safe spot, not yeah.
safe zone, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the homework or the exercise is very is easier to understand. One of the exercise I give every person that I meet that works with me is, and you had trouble with it, we should say, is writing every day, every morning, 3 pages of whatever grows in your mind. And the reason that I give this exercise is that most of the thoughts that goes on in our mind are bullshit. There's nothing to do with it, and they hold us back. And the best thing that you can do is put them on a piece of paper, 3 pages to be accurate, and to go on with your day, with your life. I've been doing it for the last 3 years,
Well,
and I can see today how I can easily be released from my thoughts. They don't prevent me to do things. I give you the a very easy example: cleaning my house. When I think about cleaning my house, I have a thought goes around in my mind that says, "Oh, but I don't feel like doing it. It's too difficult." But then, like 5 minutes later, I find myself cleaning my house because I'm trained already not to be identified with this thought, or don't not to believe in it. And I find myself do more and more the things that I want to do, and feel better about myself.
What do you think in that exercise specifically helps? Because it sounds a little bit, and I will give you the floor, so to speak. But for me, the exercise sounds like both an exercise in mindfulness and an exercise in letting go. Because our ego or id or whatever it is, that very frantic, very loud voice in our head when it comes to our thoughts, to should not and would not, and hopefully could not take over. And when it does, obviously, you do get distracted by it. So, what do you think that exercise actually does to you? What do you think the
First
mechanics
of
of it
all,
are?
I should give credit. This is not an exercise I invented. It comes from a very famous book called The Artist Way. I just realized that this exercise resonate with everything I try to coach people. I coach people on. Um, wow. I always tell people, just like start doing it and see for yourself, because everything I would say about the benefits of this exercise will diminish
Diminish.
diminish uh, the great benefits, and there are so many of them. Just to give you one example, you know um, this thing when you send someone a message and it takes a while for him to get back to you, and then you start this whole scenery in your mind that he doesn't care, he doesn't like me, um, he doesn't want to answer to me. And I can tell you that 3 years ago or 4 years ago, I would believe that this conversation is reality, but it's not.
No.
It's just a conversation that one is used to um, have in his own mind, and it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with reality. The only thing that has to do with reality is to ask when the person comes back to you, were you busy, or to give him the benefit of the doubt
Right.
that he has other things to do, not only
Yes.
to get back to you
I
the minute
there's
that you
there,
called.
there's a joke, or not joke. There's a adage about um, people don't think about you a hundredth of what you think about yourself, or as often as you think about yourself, and that kind of resonates with that idea. We are not often reflected in other people's thought as deeply or as, oh, I apologize, sorry. Um, we as people, but whether there's 4 minutes, so at the 4 minute mark, I'll just pause us, but I'll continue afterwards. I'm trying to help a friend get a PlayStation 5. That's the whole thing. Back to us. We, in general, don't exist in other people's mind as frantically or as deeply or as confusingly as we exist in our own. And if I want to pair those two thoughts together, and I do, so if you're exercising in some ways, letting go of the noise and letting go of the assumptions of others, and in other way is to create a leading thought that is clear from that noise. Is there a link there that I'm missing?
Yeah, I can tell you that. Yeah, for example, to tell yourself that it's okay to feel discomfort, or be good at feeling shit. Because I can give you another example. For example, I work with a business person that we realized that when he feels this discomfort with a client, the way that he takes care of it is by giving a discount. So he actually put money to feel better, his own money. That, and after writing 3 pages and remembering that what he needs to do is to be better at feeling shit, he started to identify. Okay, I feel this discomfort. Um, Maybe she's like the client of mine. She expects some kind of discount, and he identifies it. And in his case, the only thing that he needs to do different is to fucking shut up.
Or say no.
That's the thing. The other person doesn't ask for anything.
Oh, wow.
He offers it because he feels not good enough at the moment. So in his case, it's just to shut up, and it works. Oh my God! The last year, how much money he saved because of that.
So in terms of the exercise itself, and if I'm trying to kind of bring two ideas that you presented, one is clear your thoughts, and in a way, clearing your thoughts is actually presenting them or doing them or exercising with them. Those are the 3 pages you were describing, which, by the way, I did fail miserably at even attempting. I 100%.
I
The,
honestly can say that the beginning is very difficult.
uh, but with the same breath, I can see the validity and utility of divorcing yourself from the noise, because for most people, internal noise controls almost everything. And then, if I am hearing you correctly, and please correct me if I don't, uh, after you clear the noise, it's easier, or at least more clearer, to see what the actual thoughts are, or to see what the actual path is for you to do something.
And you can pick with what you want to start your day, because not everything that goes through our mind is true. Most of it, it's these are things that we heard other people think like or talk like, and it's not even ours.
Right.
It's just like shit that got stuck to us, and there's no need to carry it throughout your day.
Nice. Nice.
Yes. After doing it for like 3 years, it's amazing. Like I don't dare to start my day without this exercise, because I know how a day without this exercise at the beginning of the day will look like, and I don't want to go there. I don't want to go
Interesting.
there. Yes.
uh, wow. So if you had two things to share with any audience member that looks at this from whatever platform they do, or listens to it from whatever platform they do, your two things would be: write 3 pages.
But no, don't edit anything. Just like as it goes, jump from one thought to the other. Read the book The Artist Way. Maybe it will help you understand better
Nice.
than the way I explained it. It's a great book. And it's worth. Most people think that, yeah, like to invest 30 minutes in my morning, I have better things to do. Let me say that. No, this is the best thing. You should invest the first 30 minutes of your day. And yes, it's worth waking up early in the morning to have this time to write these 3 pages. I wake up at 5 in the morning every morning just to write them before I start my day.
Nice.
Yes.
I I'm an early waker. I'm an early riser, but not to write those 3 pages. But I can, yeah, I can honestly say that even though I failed, it was very interesting to see my train of thought and how confusing and chaotic it is, and how little it had to do with my actual mind, with my actual
That's
choices.
something that is very important. If whoever listens to this and watches this talk and decides to write 3 pages, by the way, when I talk about 3 pages, I talk about A4, a full A4 pages, three of them, and not like this is one.
Uh-huh.
One side is one. You are not to read any of what you wrote for the last 3 months.
Wow.
Yes.
What is the purpose behind that?
Um, well, I know someone that didn't follow this rule and it freaked her out and she stopped. So is that enough?
That is anecdotal, but it's very much enough. I remember from my exercise that it really does feel almost like there's another person that you are taking a snapshot of, and it's not
It
necessarily
is.
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it
it's a
is.
completely different person in terms of both behavior and thoughts and patterns.
Yeah.
Do you think that is the magic beneath it all? Do you think that is the magic of taking ownership of your higher self?
What do you mean?
Day to day is noisy. Day to day is chaotic. But no matter what it is when it comes to the fountains of choices we can make, we end up always by virtue of life in one choice, one moment, all the time, continuously.
Yeah, you know how we all want to meet this person that will accept us as we are? The pages will always accept us as we are. And it feels amazing when you are willing to do so. One should say that I started to talk like the Crown. I'm watching the fourth season of the Crown, and I talk like the Queen. One should say to have the freedom, the complete freedom to write whatever goes to your mind without being afraid that anyone will read it. One can burn the pages right after he wrote them.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah,
That's
it's that not important what you wrote them. You can write everything and just like put it in flames.
love it.
Yeah.
So write your 3 pages, burn them, take ownership of a higher a higher choice.
And have a really brand new day.
Wow. Thank you, Fezzi.
That's an optimistic note to finish this conversation with.
Yeah, I
I
love
hope
it.
it brought some light to people wherever they are.
I think a lot of people are going through a introspection in a very, very big way, even though the walls are smaller, even though our ability to expand ourselves geographically or physically outside, we're limited to our world. I think a lot of people are in a place of search, in a place of looking for. So any guiding post, any guiding light, any what's the word? Any harbor in a storm, that is a good harbor. So I will end on that note. Write your 3 pages, burn them if you have to, or read them in 3 months, which will be interesting too. But
Yeah. Thank you
any,
for the opportunity.
of course, thank you, my love. This has been Little Gay Guide. This was Chezy. I'm Ron. Thank you very much, Chezy.
Thank you very much to you. Have a nice evening.
I'll stay here.